what your reaction is to the arrest of Keefe D.
Well, surprise, number one, because I didn't think Keefe D would never get arrested. Nor do I want to see him get arrested. You know, let's get one thing straight, first and foremost. You know, me and Keefe D played on the same Pop Warner football team. And whatever the circumstances, if he had an involvement with anything, if he didn't have any involvement with anything, who want to see, I wouldn't wish somebody going to prison on my worst enemy.
The DA says that Keefe D was in the car with his nephew, and that presumably his nephew, according to the DA, is the one that shot Tupac, and that it was done with the full knowledge of Keefe. Tell me what your reaction is.
There was only two people in the car. And Pac not going to tell the story. I ain't going to tell the story, but I tell you this. And I never had nothing bad to say about Orlando because, number one, he wasn't the shooter. Number two, he came to my hearing and told to let me go and told the truth. They still didn't let me go.
If you are called to testify in this case?
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be.
Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Why not?
Well, number one, because I'm not going to get on the stand and testify on somebody for what?
They seem to be saying that Orlando was the shooter and Keefe was in on it, that he had...
No.
Then who shot Tupac?
It wasn't Anderson, so that's all I got to say about that part.
To summarize, you are saying Orlando was not the shooter, although you won't say who the shooter was. You are not saying whether Keefe was involved in any way in the shooting. And you are saying that if you're called to testify by either side, you will not comply, you will not testify. Do I have that right?
1,000%. I wouldn't go, I wouldn't testify, none of that. At the end of the day, free Keefe D.
You know what's really interesting?
No.
Then who shot?
It would be a miracle if they saw this because the people who were there are not talking. I'm surprised he said Tupac, I'm not going to say it. How could Tupac say anything and he's not alive? Those bullets never hit Suge. He's sitting there right next to Tupac. So obviously Suge know who did it and he's not speaking. Now, Tupac Dick Machiavelli, I don't know if the man's still alive. He clearly said Tupac is not going to say what happened. I'm not going to say what happened. He said two people were there. And he said that Orlando or whoever he was not the shooter. Suge is talking about playing football with somebody over a murder case. Either he was in on it, was my first thought, or Tupac isn't really dead. I don't know what's going on, and I doubt if they ever solve this case because they already lied to everybody, and they are about to stop talking. So these white men think they finna make these people talk 20 years later? Good luck.
Las Vegas PD is actually reopening the Tupac murder case. And there's a rumor that Keefe D might get charged with the murder.
How he gonna get charged and the feds made the deal with him? Man, them people do anything, bro. That's fucked up. They charge that man, that's fucked up.
Well, let me explain how these deals work, right? Because Greg Kading was the one that basically did the deal with him. So here's what happened. Here's the whole story.
He dead, huh?
Who's dead?
Ain't the one that gave him the deal dead?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Russell Poole's dead. Greg
okay.
Yeah. So here was the deal that happened, right? Essentially, Keefe D, who was in the car with Orlando when Tupac got killed, he got caught up in a PCP case. So he was basically had this huge PCP case where he was facing life in prison. He was offered a proffer agreement, right? AKA Queen for a Day. So in a proffer agreement, they ask you a bunch of questions having to do with criminal activities. If you answer all those questions truthfully and they establish that you were truthful in all your questions, anything you say cannot be used against you to incriminate you from your answers. So when they asked him about the Tupac murder and he told them exactly what happened, we were in the car, Orlando did the shooting, blah, 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 they made his PCP case go away. Right? So he walked away from life in prison by sharing that information with them. Now, a proffer agreement only applies to what you say that particular day. So if you say, hey, I killed Tupac, that day, you can't be charged with that murder. But if the next day you go tell someone else, hey, I killed Tupac, they could charge you for that. So what they're saying is because of all the book that he wrote and all the interviews that he did, that potentially could reopen the investigation and allow him to be charged because he said that outside of that proffer agreement.
And you lost me with that one. Shit, you lost me with that one.
Saying that you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
Yeah.
No, you done fucked up, don't you? You know it, don't you? No, you done fucked up.
I'll never tell.